Hey guys, I'm going to do a video today. Before I start, a few things. I wanted to get this under 10 minutes originally so I could do the IGTV and just make it easier. I tried to film a video. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it under 10 minutes, not with the message that wants to come out today. So what I'm going to do is just do the first 60 seconds on here, and then the rest I'm going to put on YouTube, and I'll link that in my bio. Sorry, it's just how it has to be. Second of all, I am very sick, so I have been feeling like I had a message that needed to come out like since Friday, but I've just been like really sick. So I'm still feeling that today. I'm not going to put my face on camera because of that, and if I need to take a second, it is what it is. If it's gonna bother you, then I just wouldn't watch this video. Hopefully I'll get better at these as time goes on. This is just my first one. So there might be some pauses while I try to figure it out. I'm just not moving as fast today. I'm just really not feeling great, but again, I feel like I have a message that needs to get out. So if you see smoke, I have essential oil diffuser, I have sage going, and then I also have some meditation music, so if you hear that, just excuse it. Again, if it's going to bother you, sorry. You may just want to click off now. Anyway, I have a couple oracle decks and then 2 tarot decks. I'm not sure I'm going to need it all. But yeah, we're just going to go through and see what messages come out. This is going to be more of me just kind of rambling when I do my posts on Instagram. I feel like I lose some messages there. It's a little bit more organized than my speaking is going to be today, just because I'm literally just going to say what pops in my head. But this way I feel like I get more out, and you can just take what resonates. I may bounce back and forth or be repetitive. It's whatever Spirit wants me to say today. So, sorry, it's going to be a little choppy, and oh well. I'm not going to edit this at all. I just don't feel like it. I'd rather these just flow. So, they're going to be a little rough, the first couple of videos, excuse me. Normally, that would bother me, but I feel like the message is more important. So, first card out is support. The veil between our world and the spirit world is a little bit thinner right now. Angels and higher beings are really helping. As you can see, they're like praying over the earth. I talked about this in my Instagram posts. Everything I'm going to say in these videos is going to sound crazy. You're just going to have to take what you want to take, and if you want to think I'm crazy, think I'm crazy, but I guarantee you I am right. Okay, anyway, Earth's vibrations have obviously been very low and masculine dominated for a while. We were in the age of Pisces, which is the 12th house. It's unconscious. It's a lot of like, don't want to say sketchiness, but stuff happening behind the scenes that people aren't aware of. 12th house rules your unconscious. So if you have planets there, it's best you get a handle on them because they can run your life. But yeah, we have moved into the age of Aquarius, which Aquarius rules like community, humanitarianism, like we're all one rather than like individualism. So as we have moved into this, the Earth's vibration has to rise, and masculine and feminine energy needs to come into balance. We've been too skewed masculine for a long time, and you've started to see that shake up in the past few years with the Me Too movement, with feminine energy rising up. It's going to start balancing out a little bit more as we move further into the age of Aquarius. So higher beings, if you believe in extraterrestrials, other galaxies, they're sending light right now to help raise the vibration. If you prefer to think of it as spirit guides or God, whatever your views are, don't take what I say and what I believe is like your own. Take what feels right to you. But support is there in this transition. There's also support happening in your life to help get you to the best place that you need to be, your highest vibration, which is not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna win the lottery and millions of dollars and everything's gonna come easy for you. No, that's not the case. It's what you've signed up to this lifetime. So if you've signed up to be a healer and you've signed up to help other people, you're going to be moving into that role more. If you have signed up to work with your art and inspire people through art, you're going to feel more motivated towards that. It's whatever you're feeling pulled to right now is more than likely your path, and don't fight it, because if it's karmically what you need to do, you are going to be pushed into it heavy, especially with this support. Things that aren't meant for you are going to start feeling really gross, and it's like a tower in tarot. You're going to start feeling like shaken up with that, where it's not right for you anymore. Like you're going to be pushed towards what's right for you. And with celebration, things that you've been trying to manifest with the moon cycles are about releasing and manifesting, releasing things that you can welcome in this new energy. Where this is nighttime, I see this more as it hasn't come into fruition yet, but it's something that you've been wishing and praying for. It's something that you've been trying to prepare for through releasing old wounds and old patterns that may have kept you tied karmically to the past. Celebration is coming in because those new manifestations are going to be coming into fruition. Okay, can we do one more card and then we'll do the bottom of the deck? Okay. Retreat. So it's more of a time of solitude now that we're in Virgo season. Leo season is all about like stepping out, having fun, going on dates, spending time. I don't know, I like amusement parks. It's like kid house, so it's like mini golf, like just doing like silly little stuff like that is Leo season. It's the Sun card and the Strength card, so very like building your confidence, fun energy. Virgo season is the Hermit in tarot, so it's more so retreating, getting your life back in order. It's like preparing for the harvest, basically, if you think about the seasons. So we're heading into a new season now, so we are preparing for harvest season. The things you've been trying to manifest are going to start coming in, but for now you need to retreat so that you can get your mind right, get your energy right for these new blessings to come in. A good way to do that is to meditate. Meditate on what you want. Meditate so that your energy is in the right place and you feel centered. Yeah. Do you guys actually care what oracle decks I'm using or not? Because I can say what oracle deck it is, but if you're not really that interested, then I don't need to. I'll do 2 cards in the bottom of the deck. Can I get one more card, please? Here, can I get one more card? Oof. Okay. Oh, they gave me 2 cards originally. Okay. Sacred Fool. This is kind of like the Fool card in tarot. She's naked. She has a puppet. A lot of people, I would say most of us, have been putting up this front in life, feeling like we need to be something for other people, to be accepted, to be loved, trying to earn the love of others, while hiding who we really are because we're afraid of that nakedness. We're afraid of feeling vulnerable. But the Fool card in tarot is all about taking a leap of faith. So as I see this, you see her face, she's kind of bored with putting on this act. I see this as she's ready to make a change. She's ready to put the puppet down and show who she really is. Diving for light. Also, I'm not going to be doing the book for the oracle cards. It would just take way too long. And I really don't like watching readers that read the oracle message straight from the book during a video. I don't know if it's the Aquarius in me. I just get so bored. So I'm just going to do intuitive. If you know these cards and you're like, oh, that's not what that means, like, deal with it. So anyway, diving for light. I see the seahorses she has here. I would take this as water energy. And then obviously diving. She looks kind of like a mermaid. So I see this as going within, realizing that you've been putting up a front for a while and going within to try to figure out who you really are, without these other people, without what society has told you you have to be, without this fake mask you put on, who you truly are, trying to find your own light so that you can shine it and be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. Pandora's gift. So this is all about discovering the inner you, your own gifts, your own light, what your purpose is in this world. We all have a purpose. We all have a reason we're here. We're a oneness. So everyone has their role. And this is about kind of realizing that you've been hiding that part of yourself and taking time to try to find who you truly are. At the bottom of the deck, be the hunter, not the hunted. As I see this, taking an active role in who you want to be, realizing that you've been living for other people, that you have been suppressing your own gifts to try to fit in with what you feel like people want you to be. This is that realization, and then deciding, I'm going to hunt my life. I'm not going to be a passive participant in my life anymore. I am going to actively go after what brings me happiness and what fills me up, without a care of who that offends, because at the end of the day, I'm following the path that's true to me, which is awesome. That is really great, and that's all about Virgo season. Hermit mode is about taking time to yourself, going to the mountains, praying, meditating, and coming out brand new, knowing what you want. Okay, how many cards is this? We're just going to take all of these. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So Hermit season is very lonely. We need human connection. We are social animals. So you do need to take time alone to heal and to discover yourself and get comfortable with yourself. But then you have to come out of that and rejoin the world. So this is all about, while you're in this hermit mode, understanding that this is needed. You have to transform yourself, and you can't do that when you're constantly surrounded by people, especially your old life where they expect you to be a certain way and you're getting pressured. It's better to go within and just to understand that this is all temporary, you know. Like me personally, being sick, I really wanted to go boating. I wanted to so bad. I wanted to all summer. And I finally had the opportunity to on Labor Day. My dear friend and her amazing family, they're always so kind and inviting me. I appreciate you so much, Jordan. She invited me, and I really wanted to go, but I couldn't, because I was like, I'm going to get out on the boat and get violently ill, and I'm just going to ruin everybody's time. And that was difficult for me to have to accept, just because it's been a hard few weeks. Yeah, so sorry, I'm getting emotional. Hold on. Sorry guys, I really am such a baby when I'm not feeling well. Yeah, so obviously I'm uncomfortable right now, but I understand that I need to take time to heal my body, and that this is what's best, and that there will be other opportunities to go on a boat. You know, like, don't feel like because you're in this hermit mode that you're like missing out on life and life is passing you by. You can feel that way, especially when you're like spending all your time on social media and watching everybody having a great time, and you've made the decision to hold back and try to like step away from dating or step away from going out all the time. Like, it is hard and it's uncomfortable because you're leaving a part of yourself behind. Going through this transition is like a death. It's a death and a rebirth, a death of the ego. And the ego is all about getting that, being fed through other people's attention. Like in the Fool card, you put up that puppet and you know that that's what people want and that's what is going to get you attention, you know, and that's what you feed off of, your ego does. But there comes a point when you're just living for your ego and you're not following who you truly are. You're just, you know, what you think other people want. Yeah, sorry. That was some live action channeling there. See, I can't do that when I do written posts. That's why I've been wanting to do this. But yeah, it is uncomfortable. It's like a death. It hurts really bad healing, and I think that's why a lot of people choose not to heal and choose to stay stuck in their ego. But you're not going to live true to your karmic path doing that. And when you do that, you're basically delaying your happiness, because on the other side of the healing is like the true life you've been dreaming of, because you wouldn't have those dreams in your head if it wasn't meant for you. And that's not like an ego dream where like, oh, I want to be rich and surrounded by babes and like not have to do anything. Like, this is like I have people surrounding me that love me and know who I am, and I can be myself and be comfortable, you know, like that's worth it. Like, that's a better life than living in your ego. My fearless freedom lights up the world. Being fearless in your pursuit of who you are, hunting actively for what makes you happy, complete disregard for what other people want from you. And that's not in like a low vibrational way, like I'm gonna hurt whoever I want. That's in a, this is not right for me. And yeah, it may hurt your feelings for me to say this is a boundary that I'm setting, but that's what's good for me. And at the end of the day, that will be good for you as well, because you feeding off of my energy is not good for you. You're not completing your karmic lessons either. We all have our own karma. We don't get so attached to people that like you feel like you need them to feel comfortable and safe. If you're in that space, you're not facing your own karma. Be fearless and setting yourself free from that. It doesn't mean that you can't have people in your life and you have to go hermit mode all the time, but if you find yourself too attached to people, it's time to let go. That's not healthy ever. Like you have to find a space where you love people with boundaries and that you're your own individual and you don't allow people to absorb you, if that makes sense. The presence of love will always cast out fear. So it is scary getting into this new life that you don't know anything about. You've never been here. You've been stuck in your ego your whole life. You've put up this puppet face, so you don't know who you are without that, and it's scary. But centering yourself and finding self-love, and also surrounding yourself with people that genuinely love you, not people that love your ego and love this performance you put on for attention, but genuinely love who you are when you've let that mask down. That will always help cast out the fear so that you can light up the world. This is a really beautiful message. I'm glad I did this today, even though I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. This is all about giving up those ego driven habits that you have, you know. Yeah, it does suck saying, you know what, I don't feel well and I need to take time for myself, so I'm not going to go out on the boat today. You know, like these people, they're fun to hang out with, but they don't really have my back, and I know they talk about me when I leave the room, so I'm going to start distancing myself. Or, hey, I really don't feel good in my body, I need to clean up my diet and start exercising. Like, whatever you need to do to get closer to that inner point. Like, consciousness is not something outside of us like we're often taught in religion. It's inside. You need to connect to who you are inside, and you can't do that if you're constantly absorbed in what's going on outside. So take the time to go into hermit mode. That's what Virgo season is all about, because once we get into Libra season, Libra is the 7th house. So Libra is about like marriages, business partnerships. It's about like, it's not like 5th house like casual encounters. 7th house is like people that like are soulmates, and not necessarily always romantic. It can be friendships, but it's like true partnerships. Like the scales balance. It's people that pour into you and you pour into them. So Virgo season is about like centering yourself so that you can accept these people, because if you're spending all your time, sorry for the honking, if you're spending all your time with these people that are wrapped up in your ego self, you don't even know who you are. How are you going to know someone vibrates with you? Or if they're just trying to mess with you if you're not in a good state. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Forgive yourself and forgive others. It's important to know. Oh my God, can you hear that? My dog is so dramatic when I'm not giving her attention constantly. Yeah, the shadow self. I see this as letting go of who we want to be. So, like, your shadow is your dark side, obviously, but it's also, like, good parts of you that you've hidden out of fear. So a lot of people, like, in the love and light are very, like, I don't know, I feel like it's not, I don't want to offend the love and light crowd, but I feel like I love my shadow, you know, like, shadow is like basically like the hurt little kid in you that like tried to just be themselves and were told like that wasn't good enough or something was wrong with them. Like, your shadow isn't necessarily the dark side, because sometimes people really get attached to their dark side, especially when you're living more out of your ego, to where like your shadow is really like your creativity and like your sensitivity and your love for other people. It's like sometimes your shadow can be like really positive, but you've hidden it because you're trying to appear tough to the world, because you've been taught you have to be tough or people are going to take advantage of you. So I see this as like letting go of your own shadow and seeing yourself with self-love, but also learning to forgive other people that are keeping you tied to your past. Just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you accept them back into your life. You can forgive people, and that will cut the tie you have to them. You have to forgive people. You cannot stay stuck in an old wound and continue on with your life and live to the highest vibration that you can, because you're tied to this old wound. And being tied to that old wound keeps that in the back of your head. So if someone has betrayed you, you are going to view every single person through this betrayal, waiting for them to betray you, waiting for something to change. And like, when you live like that, like, not everybody is out to betray you. Most people aren't. Most people have good intentions for you. But if you constantly are waiting for someone to betray you, then like, one, you're going to over exaggerate things that they do that probably have nothing to do with you. And two, like, you're going to be miserable and you're going to be confused on who you can trust. Like, it's just not a positive place to be. So yeah, learning to forgive yourself for your past and forgive other people that have hurt you. You don't have to accept them back into your life, but when you forgive them, you let go of that old energy and you don't let them have that control over you anymore. Okay, we're going to move on to tarot now, and then I'm going to, if I have a card that I'm questioning, I'm going to use this deck. It's my Iris Oracle deck. It is an indie deck. It's really, really cool. I really enjoy it. I felt the high vibrational energy like immediately when I started using it. That's the cool thing about indie decks. They're more expensive, but they're way cooler. They have way more heart and soul put into them. Not that like over like, you know, like commercial decks don't. It's just like you can like feel the like love put into it, which I love. It's more expensive, but I always try to support smaller independent companies when I can. It's important. Okay, so I'll get these in a second. First card out is Strength. This is Taming the Ego. This is a Leo card. Leo is all about the ego, basically. If you know a Leo in your life, they're amazing friends. They have so much heart, so much passion. They're great people, but they do have a little bit of an ego, and you do have to know how to give back. So Leos are very sensitive and get hurt very easily when they feel like their love is not being reciprocated, but they don't necessarily say that. They can resort to dramatics to try to get people's attention when they're feeling that way. So as this card comes out, it's kind of taming the ego. You see how she's holding the lion, and she's calm and centered within herself. So this is kind of finding your peace, finding your calm, and learning how to tame your ego, learning to understand when something is an ego response and not react in a lower vibrational way. The next card that flipped is the High Priestess. High Priestess is all about, like, she's an all-knowing feminine energy. She's the 5D feminine energy. Intuition. She knows all, but she tells nothing. So she knows the way of the universe. So this combination tells me that a lot of people are getting more in touch with who they are on the inside, taming those ego-driven habits, connecting to who they are, connecting to their purpose, finding their truth and speaking their truth. The Knight of Swords is all about movement and it's truth. This is Gemini energy. Geminis are blunt. It's also quick energy because Gemini is ruled by Mercury and their mind moves very fast. So this is moving quickly to cut things out, to speak your truth. And then Three of Wands, all of the suits tell a story. The Wands is about a journey. Wands energy is very it's fire energy, so it's fire signs. It's very spiritual. It's a journey. So Ace of Wands is like the new beginning of a spiritual journey. Two of Wands, you've kind of like mapped your path, you're ready to go. Three of Wands is like you've completed the journey and now you're just waiting for your ships to come in. You've traveled, you've learned the lessons, and now you're waiting for what you've put out into the universe to come back to you. So with the High Priestess here, this is a very like manifester. Someone knows what they want and they're ready to cut things out because they want to accept this new energy in. With the Four of Coins, normally Four of Coins is like being held back, being blocked in your heart chakra, but the way that he's holding this and it's shining out, this is like where you've been holding back before, possibly out of being wounded. You're learning to open your heart up again. You're healing. I'm going to use another deck and clarify these, and then I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to wrap it because we're like at 30 minutes now. Okay, so under the Strength card, let me clarify the Strength card, please. Okay, I'm going to take the top card. Four of Wands. So, knock something over. The Strength card with the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is obviously, it's a marriage card, it's partnership, coming into union with your soul partner. Leo does rule the house of romance and dating, so this can be a new relationship coming into fruition. Four of Wands is also like stable foundation. We also go from the 3 to the 4. So this is waiting for your ships to come in. They've came in, and now you have this stable foundation to build from. Okay. High Priestess with the 2 of crystals. This is like the coins or pentacles depending on your deck. I don't know why they always change the pentacles decks in suits in every deck, but 2 of crystals, pentacles, whatever. It's like a cycle. It's usually busyness. Someone that it's in the other decks that has like a person like weighing the 2 coins, trying to weigh their options. So I see this as like wanting to close cycles and kind of following your intuition on how to do so. Closing out karmic cycles, kind of deciding what's worth your time right now and letting go of things that aren't. Under the Knight of Swords. I don't know why. I don't want to take the whole thing. I just don't want this video to be that long. We're already getting kind of long. Knight of Swords with the Page of Wands. The page is a message. It's also child energy. So this could be good news coming in. Someone speaking passionately about their truth. This is also like embarking on this new journey, free of baggage with the child energy, like I was saying earlier. The Wands is spiritual energy. So you're cutting things out so that you can start this new journey towards your soul purpose, basically. Also feeling like excited. Ten of Swords under the 3 of Wands. So this is the ending of a cycle. Ten of Swords is painful, and the original deck, it's usually a body laying on the ground with 10 swords in its back. So after being backstabbed and betrayed, you're ending that cycle now so that you can welcome in these new opportunities that are coming to you. You've done the work, you've done the healing, you've gone through this ego death, and now you're ready for this new energy to come in. And then under the 4 of coins, I'll take 2, fine. Ace of Crystals with the 8 of Wands. So this is, you can go a couple of different ways. So opening up your heart to let in this new stable beginning. Ace of Crystals. Aces are all new beginnings. Crystals is earth energy, is pentacles, earth energy. So manifesting, opening up your heart to let in these new opportunities. This can be money, this can be a relationship, this can be a new job, some type of new offer coming in. And then with the 8 of Wands is like communication, things moving quickly. It can be traveling. This is also like an online dating card, like messages coming in. But as I see this, you have the 2 women with the doorway. It's kind of like how I see this as like the blocks in your heart chakra, especially, that were blocking this new beginning, that's being cleared now so that movement can take place. The doors are opening for you now. Whatever this new opportunity you've been trying to manifest is coming to you now. Okay, and I'm just gonna clarify all of these with these cards, and then we're gonna call it a day. So Strength with the 4 of Wands. Got the Labyrinth. This is a dream card. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 is the number of change, sudden changes. You see the mask and you have the dream. So this is kind of, I would say, the death of an ego with the Leo card here, taking off the mask, figuring out what you truly want to do with your dreams, kind of deciphering, You may have had a lot of different options and not sure what you wanted to do, but now you're trying to get more focused on what would be best, the best way to go about, I don't know, sorry, the best way to like go about your life. What's going to bring you this stability, what's going to bring you this happy partnership, this happy home life, this what's going to make you feel at peace. And then with the High Priestess and the Two of Crystals, let's clarify the Sword. So this is like the Ace of Swords, kind of, and then 7/7 card. So 7 is the number of like spiritual journey. Things are about to turn around. Good things are coming in. Learning your truth through spirituality. And then if you want to add them, like some people do, it'd be 14. Then 4 + 1 is 5 again. So big changes coming in that are going to bring in new energy. With the snake here, this is karma. So this is kind of like realizing the truth about these karmic cycles that you've been in, connecting to your intuition, and rethinking where you've been spending your time and things that you need to cut out, so that you can live in your truth, not necessarily what you've been living for other people. And then with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands, can't be caught. So this is someone releasing themselves. I see these as like people that like kind of like hungry for you, that like want to steal your energy. You're shining bright and you have all of these people that are living in lower vibrations wanting to steal that light from you, but you're releasing yourself from that. You're cutting these people out. You're speaking your truth because there's a new journey you want to go on, and this journey is one for you. It's connected to who you really are, your inner child that you've been suppressing for so long. You're finally starting to realize your power, and you're releasing these things that have been keeping you stuck. Can I please clarify 3 of Wands with the 10 of Swords? You have 1 card, Spirit. Where's it? Can I get 1 card? Oh, okay, we got 2. Inside looking out, left out with the wolves. So, inside looking out is the energy like I was talking about earlier, where you're feeling uncomfortable right now. You're releasing things that no longer suit you, but it leaves these voids in your life that are uncomfortable. You're not hanging out with the same people you used to. You're not doing the same things that you used to that weren't necessarily good for you, but they were what you knew and what you were comfortable with. So now that you have that void, you feel like you've kind of been left out to the wolves. You're feeling kind of like raw. That's what the 10 of Swords is all about. Like, one of my favorite readers, Sal with Eat, Read, Love, he calls it roadkill. And that's a good description of how the 10 of Swords feels. It's just like you've been through so much that you're finally just like, I'm done, you know? And that's kind of what this energy is. So like you're feeling kind of stuck. You're waiting for these new things to come in. You're kind of, this is like a card of loneliness, and also feeling kind of exposed as you're like releasing things and becoming who you really are. Can you hear her snoring? Probably not, but it's distracting. For me anyway. As you're becoming who you are, you do feel a little bit vulnerable. I know I experienced that when I started doing my readings. It felt really weird, and I knew people were going to think that I was a weirdo, and I already knew I had some like negative judgmental energy around me just because of I had recently cut out a lot of people. So I knew it was going to be that way, and I was kind of more prepared for it. I feel like my personality, I'm more okay with people not understanding me or not necessarily liking me. Like, it doesn't bother me very much. I mean, obviously it does, I'm human, but it doesn't like destroy me like some people. But that's just my personality. But it's something that you go through, of course. It's you're feeling vulnerable. And as you start to share your spiritual gifts, a lot of people are going to look at you like you're crazy. And that's just, it's something that you deal with as you step into your purpose. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't, because both of these cards are positive cards. It's like an uncomfortable feeling before you get to where you need to be. And then these three popped out for the last. So the green card is all about like growth. This is recognizing your power, recognizing and releasing the box that you've put yourself in. So this is a very, like, this has been a really good reading. This is all about like freeing energy. This is closing cycles and freeing yourself for this new positive energy. And I have a good feeling that a lot of this new energy is going to start coming. Saturn goes direct on the 18th. And Libra season starts on the 23rd, I believe. And we also have, when is the full moon? 14th, 15th. So probably in like 2 weeks, we're going to start getting this energy coming in, this new energy. So right now, you're in like a stay back energy. This is stay back card could kind of go hand in hand with the Four of Coins, but this is a more of recognizing where people have been sabotaging you, and perhaps you've been sabotaging yourself. So this is like I've been used and used. People have been taking my energy. I've been taken for granted, and I am standing up for myself. So this is like I'm protecting myself. Stay away from me while I work on growing. And then under a spell, this is more of like a romance card, like very loving feelings towards somebody. So this can be like a new relationship. You're feeling smitten by somebody, and they're helping encourage this growth. This also can be putting manifestations out there. Really falling in love with yourself, though, is how I see this. You're recognizing your potential. You're learning how to set boundaries and take a step back in life. And you're kind of falling back in love with yourself. And that's kind of helping drive this energy. Okay, we're going to do the bottom of the decks for these three decks, and then I will say goodbye. Nine of Swords. This is like feeling very scared. This is sleepless nights, nightmares, anxiety, and worry. Seven of Crystals. This is the waiting card. So this is like planting seeds, and also like taking time. So you're feeling scared because the amount of time, sorry, holding that kind of weird. You're feeling scared because of the amount of time this is taking. You feel like you've been putting a lot of work in, and you're not completely sure that this is going to come to fruition for you. Gifts to the portal. I'm trying to remember. I just got this stack, so I don't have all the cards memorized yet. You know what? I'm just going to be one of those annoying readers that I just shit-talked a few minutes ago. I will read it to you, and that will be the end. Gift to the portal. Some things that appear to be a loss or a waste of time are actually just labors for which you have not yet seen the reward. It may feel like you work and work and work and nothing ever comes back, or that nothing enough happens in exchange. It would be nice if everything worked by a simple and clear formula, but it can be more complicated than that at times. Some hurdles need more work and attention to overcome than others. The actions we take don't always turn out in the way we had predicted. Know that your hard work is always being seen, even when it doesn't feel like it. Boom. Okay, that's it. See you guys later. Bye.